So here we are then for another episode of my Aston Martin Road to Glory career mode on F1 22. This one is round 17 for the Singapore Grand Prix, and if you haven't seen round 16, the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, go check it out. And a completely monsoon race, just rain all the way through, link in the top right, and spoilers ahead, so go check it out. Anyway, as you can see, we have a bunch of upgrades arriving before the next race, as it is a 3-week, or technically 2.5-week break since the last race. And we have updates. The first one is we're going to go ahead and repurchase the rotors for the ERS, as that was an upgrade planned for Monza, which failed, and we didn't have enough money to repurchase, so we had to wait and save us some points. Also, the MGUH, of course, we've had reliability issues, and the MGUH was one of the parts that we lost, so we're going to try and make that a bit better. Also, we have to pick a new rival. Ricciardo, Alonso are simply too strong. Ricciardo mainly because the McLaren's too strong, and then Alonso because he himself is too strong. So by default, we'll choose Esteban Ocon, and he'll be our new rival. In the meantime, I spent the preview here trying to decide what engine parts to go for, because Singapore isn't a power sensitive circuit, so you can get away with a bit less power and some more worn out components. So we're going to go ahead and basically shuffle them around and use some older parts of the engine to try and save the better ones for the remaining races, and hopefully that works out. As we get ready for the race weekend, we have a big bombshell. Look at that forecast. It's wet all the way through, and then there's one dry icon midway through, which I'm promising you is going to wreak havoc. We have 6 upgrades on the car for this race, which is biblical, to quote Mr. Arava. And that is going to mean, in terms of the performance chart with those upgrades, albeit some of them durability, we are still second from last. But if you look at the jump from Alpine, Haas, Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri, Williams, literally all of us jumping up and trying to close that gap, the field spread is getting so close and so competitive, and that bottom half of the table is so fierce, but things are really closing up. As for practice, this was a genuine shock. I had no answer for the ridiculous delta that I was set in FP2, and literally I'd done one lap and retired. I had no chance of clawing back 1.6 seconds, and I could not believe it. So I retired and quick simmed the practice programs, and that way we got maximum points. I always have to do the race strategy program myself, because that gives you actual accurate data for the race, but for this one it's not really relevant as we have a wet race anyway, so I kind of can afford to just simulate and skip ahead. So here we are, time for qualifying, and hopefully that delta isn't a warning sign for how strong the AI are going to be, and we can actually be somewhat competitive here this weekend. So yeah, fingers crossed, and we're about to find out if we have any sort of pace. I am running a modified setup, which is tailored for the wet for the race, because there's so much rain. I feel like it's worth taking that gamble. But yeah, first lap on the board, and we're last, 38.1, 2/10 off Latifi, which isn't a million miles away. Didn't feel like there was a lot of time in it. It felt like a pretty decent lap. I went for a cool down lap and then a second push. I was fueled for 2 time laps. So let's see if we can find a bit more time, and this will give us a bit of an indication of if there is more time to find, and that will give me some encouragement if there is, or it will disappoint me if there isn't. So straight away through turns 1, 2, 3 we find the 10th, which is really good. Through turn 4 or turn 5 we also find a bit more time on the exit, and this is a really good start to the lap already. 10th up in sector 1 alone as we make our way down into Raffles Boulevard. On the brakes as we're 3/10 down on Schumacher, which is quite a gap to be fair. Now into this 90-degree right, trying to avoid clipping the inside curb, smooth on the power through there as we now coast into this long double apex left. Really nicely done through there, found a lot of time through that one as we now head into turn 10. Down a couple of gears and just try to keep it relatively tight to open the right. We don't quite get the curb and the apex through there, but we do get a decent drive through the bridge, and we also get the car stopped beautifully for the hairpin, which gives us even more time, and we're now north of 3/10 up, nearly 4/10 up as we close out sector 2. Still 3/10 down on Schumacher, but we actually matched him in that sector. The time loss is still from the first sector. So let's see what we can do in sector 3 as we start to get aggressive and flirt with the barriers and limits over the curbs. Trying to push that curb there, just bottoming out, losing a bit of time, you can see, as we understeered almost into the barrier. So a bit of time loss through there. Finding a bit more through that left-right chicane, and then now through the right-left again. Under the bridge we find a bit more time, and we're now 4/10 up. And now the final corner, we're going to commit here in 6th gear, carry the speed, and we're half a second up. Across the line we go, and it is an improvement, and we actually find time and actually go faster than Schumacher, but still 2.5 tenths down, and P18 as we now get ready for our final run. So we know where there's time to find. I reckon there's a couple of tenths, maybe 3 tenths to find, so let's see if we can deliver as we get the lap underway. DRS open, down to the first corner. 5th gear, possibly 4th, depending on your preference. I go for 5th, and it cost me. I should have gone 4th because that bit of understeer with a higher gear just drifted us out track limits and we invalidated. The lap itself was scruffy. I tried to see what I was doing, and we did actually improve a little bit at the end there, but we're going to bail out and call it quits. So, qualifying done, P19, not last for a change, which is refreshing. However, 6 tenths off, 7 tenths off making it through, which is a bit of a concern. A bit like Monza in the last race, to be honest with you. So, yeah, really not that great. Stroll almost got through to his credit. Fair play, Lance. Decent job from him. But yeah, work to be done. Even on a perfect lap, we was nowhere near getting through. So, yeah, qualifying done. We're now going to move to the race, which has a hell of a lot of rain in store, and it could be a classic.
Here we go then, it's Formula One in Marina Bay once again, and welcome to all of you at home who join us today for this fascinating race around the baking hot but beautiful streets of Singapore. We have a high risk of a safety car here today, I think, as the abundance of tight corners mixed with these wet conditions could put a few cars off and into the barriers. 23 turns then, 13 to the left and 10 to the right make up the 3.1 mile lap of Marina Bay. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Perez, Daniel Ricciardo and Fernando Alonso. Norris, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Albon, Mick Schumacher and Max Verstappen. Stroll, Bottas, Martinez and Tsunoda. Ocon, they've taken a grid penalty. Magnussen, Pierre Gasly and Guan Yu Zhou. Latifi and George Russell ends our grid lineup. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Natalie Pinkham. Thanks for joining us, Natalie, and tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, well, they'll be the ones that are better off.
Now then, here we go. Time for the race, and it's absolutely pouring it down yet again. The second race in a row, but this one is going to be interesting. I have a very unique weather forecast. It's heavy rain pretty much the whole race, with a sudden dry spot in the middle randomly, and then it goes back to heavy rain. So I don't know how this could work out, and this could be very, very interesting and unpredictable. Fuel-wise, I'm going 2.5 laps under, which is quite aggressive. I feel like I have to try and take a chance. We're starting 13th, by the way. A lot of penalties, and we've moved up quite a bit. I have made some tyre pressure adjustments, 3 on the front, 6 on the rear. That should help us out. And yeah, this is essentially designed for wet weather, so we do not want the race to dry or be dry that long, otherwise we will run into overheating issues. That aside, we're ready to go, and we'll see how it goes. I think there could be some safety cars due to rain. It's coming down pretty heavy already, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully though, we hit the ground running and we have decent pace in the wet compared to in the dry. Here we go then. Lights are on. This is going to be a very long race, time-wise. Oh, what a start.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
Really nice start there into turn 1. Just got cut off by Verstappen, so I just had to back off, but we're looking to pick up Stroll here for P11. Not quite able to get the traction down. Gonna go around the outside, get a warning for track limits. That was a bit harsh, as I don't really have a lot more space, but we move ahead of Lance. I'm way down on straight line speed. I've got super high wings, so we're going to have to just manage things on the straights a little bit as we will just run Lance out of road there and lock in that P11. So up 2 places, great start, just like in Imola, really good start, or should I say Monza, not Imola, really good start. Seems like we've got the edge in the wet conditions, but yeah, now the kind of marathon begins. It's going to be a long race, so we'll see what happens. Albon here battling with Lando, and this is costing time. We may get an opportunity here to have a little look at Schumacher and break into the points. Can't see a damn thing at points, but trying to go around the outside of Schumacher with the hairpin there. Didn't quite have the grip. Rear traction not looking that great. Well, let's see how it goes. Let's get a weather update just to get an idea.
The rain's getting lighter now, but it's going to take a while for the track to dry out. Full wet seemed like the best tyre for now.
Okay, we'll see how that works out then. For now though, it's monsoon conditions almost. The rain is pouring down, so let's see if we have any pace to be competitive. So across the line, a 2-minute lap. Leclerc's in the 58s out front, so that gives you an idea of what our pace is like. Schumacher hasn't got away that much, and we started to just open up a gap to Stroll on that last lap. However, now the AI won't be in full power mode. They usually, use their battery and kind of essentially run full power in the first 2 laps, so pace should level out and we should be a bit more competitive. We can also lean on the battery, we're not going to have any issues. Engine wear is a bit high, but that's the whole purpose of this race. The fact it's a wet race, it allows us to kind of use up an older engine and not really nice to power that much. So yeah, we're looking good so far. I'm happy with this. Only 1 place off the points. If anything happens in the top 10, we'll be right there to pick up the pieces. There we go, yellow flag.
Caution, caution.
I think it's ahead of us. Yes it is. I think it's Alonso. No, I'm wrong, it's a McLaren.
Okay, some information on Ricciardo. They're retiring from the race.
So that's Daniel out, and that moves us into the points. Literally, I called it half a lap ago, as we drop below the 2-minute lap time. The track's getting faster. Everyone's setting purple lap times. We're also on our personal best. Starting to really show some pace.
On this rain clearing up is about 10 minutes, so just keep your concentration out there. You're doing well.
Pace is starting to really pick up now, though. Gap to Schumacher 1.1. We're edging in closer and closer. We're also starting to open up a pretty decent gap now to Stroll. Just try and keep it going here. Margins are really fine though. It's important that we pass Schumacher. As you know, in the constructors, Haas are one of our rivals, and then ahead of Schumacher I'm not really too concerned, but AlphaTauri and Haas are our direct rivals, and one of them is ahead of us.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Got that confirmed.
Okay, interesting. It says next lap, but that could be this lap to be fair. I'm going to stay out another lap. I'm going to take a chance here. I reckon there'll be a busy pit lane and there could be hold-ups.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
Also Stroll pit. This could pay off, Not sure what the pace is on the Inter. Well, we're 8/10ths up on my personal best. Haven't even kept track of the deltas. Well, let's pit. There we go. Okay, that was a really good pit entry. Had to focus. Let's see. I feel like Schumacher's lost a bit of ground looking at the mini-map. I could be wrong. This needs to be perfect. 2.5, it is good. I think we've got ourselves in the mix here. We've given ourselves a chance at getting Schumacher. It's going to be close.
You only have to stop once now. One stop left.
Oh wow, never mind. It's not as close as I thought. Although Schumacher's jumped Verstappen, so technically we haven't lost a place. Schumacher's actually gained one. It's funny how that works out. So Verstappen gets screwed over there by having the earlier pit box and being basically held, I'm assuming, forever. Right, we tried to gamble something different. Didn't pay off.
Still not a perfect situation, but I don't think we've got cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
Stroll got screwed over, lost 2 places to Ocon and Tsunoda. But anyway, let's see if we can switch this tyre on and make it work. Surprisingly, we're keeping up with Verstappen here. I don't know if he's got an issue, but he's not that fast. I reckon we can actually pass him. I feel quicker than Verstappen at this stage. Yeah, Max is in trouble here. I haven't heard anything on the radio, but he isn't quick. Oh my god. Oh my god, Leclerc's out, the race leader. Another place to gain. No safety car or virtual safety car.
Yellow flag.
Make that 2 DNFs.
Come off ahead of you, there's a yellow flag ahead.
2 DNFs in the top 10. Only issue is we've got no straight line speed, which is a problem when trying to pass. Verstappen gets a bit loose. We'll use all the battery. Verstappen is slow on the straight because I'm super slow. Verstappen though holding on. We'll try and go around the outside. Oh no, Verstappen locks up. And it's an illegal overtake.
You need to give that place back, I'm afraid. That was an illegal overtake.
I don't believe it. We've let Ocon through. Verstappen having issues. Obviously some sort of car trouble. I just can't pass him. He's fast enough in just the right areas, but I can't get an overtake on the go. And also I struggle in all the wrong areas. Let's see. Might be a carbon copy of the last lap in fairness. I might have to try and go for that move again. But this time get on the inside. I had a feeling he would lock up as well. I don't know why, I just had a feeling. Okay, no mistake from Max this time. But it's a good enough exit. Oh man, I tried to have a look down the brakes, but this is so difficult. Whatever issue he's got, it's affecting him, but he's just fast enough that I can't get by. Oh my god. Whew. Oh, my exit let me down. Might still have a chance. I'm running out of battery as well. I need to try and make it count now. On the inside we go. And there it is. Whoa. Just had to go for it. Verstappen didn't defend. Crucial move for P9. Schumacher's now 9 seconds up the road. I just couldn't get by. I think Max's car's working again. No radio about him having issues, but he's catching me back up.
I don't think the line is really dry enough yet to start thinking about slicks. Let's hold on to the inters for a little while longer.
The track's drying at a rapid rate. Okay, that confirms it. I mean, realistically, I'm actually not going to be able to keep him behind. He's going to pass me pretty easily here, so I won't put up a fight. I'm trying to catch Mick Schumacher, who I'm actually a bit faster than. I mean, the gap's under 8.3 now. It was 9 seconds when we got past Verstappen, so I'll do my own race. If Max gets the run, I won't fight, but for now he's not close enough.
Radar suggests weather's going to hit in around 5 minutes time, so stay on your toes.
Oh my god. 5 minutes. I mean, the track's still a bit damp. Everyone's pitting, but I don't know if it's worth pitting if that's the case. Oh, I might just gamble, you know, and go for it. This could be our big result. I'm going to stay out. Fast lap of the Grand Prix. My issue is overheating.
Okay, I think it might just be about time to come and change these tyres.
It's dry tyres, but still a bit damp here and there. The main thing is, if it does rain in 5 minutes, if we just stay on this tyre and essentially save ourselves 2 pit stops, that is so much time gain. I'm not saying we're going to win, I'm just saying we've got a chance of getting a few more points. I won't fight Checo, we'll let him crack on.
Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
That's a bit late because Perez used DRS in the other straight to get past me. Anyway, come on Carlos mate, get the inside. I'm in a different race to you pal, so I do not want to bow you. Stroll staying out because I haven't pit.
Tries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
That means it's going to start raining any moment now. Whoa. Hi Fernando, through you go mate. Tried to stay in front there, but it's never going to work. Here comes Albon. I'll let him take the inside. Again, Williams are our rival, so It's far from ideal, but playing the long game, hopefully. Again, that rain comes down ASAP and we'll get him back in the pit stop when he boxes for another intermediate. Norris is going to get through here as well. I'm not going to have an answer for him. And now Schumacher is behind us as the next car. We need this rain to start happening now. The pace isn't terrible. On for a personal best, but...
I've got some information on Schumacher. I've got an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Ooh, nice. Blessing in disguise. So he won't be getting past. And the rain is falling. Here we go. Rain coming down as Schumacher does go for it. Leaving space. Side by side. I'm going to let myself tactically pick up the DRS. Like so. And can we stay ahead? Ocon looking to go through. Oh my god, this is close. Ocon through, Schumacher trying, but we're keeping him behind. Let's see how long it takes for this rain to really make a change. I think it's happening pretty quick, you know.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline. Wait for further updates.
Oh yes. Our tyres aren't even that bad. We're back in this race. Right, we need that rain to cool my tyres down. But we should be re-overtaking Ocon here, hopefully. Here we go then. Proper rain now. It's changed so quick. Spray being kicked up. And now Ocon visibly struggling. And the shoe is on the other foot now. Not going to force a move, just have to wait and let him get through these corners. Well, there we go, they're all going to pit, so we will move back up the order. And the gamble has paid off. What we need now is more rain as we move into podium positions. Make that P1 and into the race lead. And this is a net position. Still a long way to go, but we're now in the mix to try and win this race.
These conditions are only getting worse. Watch out for standing water. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
Here comes Hamilton.
Lance is in for his stop.
We'll keep him behind for now. We need another weather change onto the wets to kind of bail me out and get onto a fresh set of tyres. We're okay at the moment. We're up and running. Now that the AI have kind of settled into their rhythm and we're back into kind of cooler tyres and they're not so hot, I am able to maintain enough pace to keep Lewis at bay. We can win this race. It is absolutely on the table. We can win this entire thing. I reckon we could end back up on the full wet. Rain's picking up. And we're holding up a bit of a queue now, with Hamilton, Perez and Sainz. Alonso catching at a pretty quick rate. But right now, my exits are good and we're doing all the right things. I'll select the full wets and get them ready in case we need them. Hamilton's putting some real pressure on now. I can't even really speak that much, just having to stay focused.
Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now.
I think it's full wets. We'll do one more lap, but I think it could be full wets next time around. Rain's really coming down now. I can feel the lack of grip. My tyre wear is starting to play a part and I'm struggling as Hamilton goes through. Oh my god. The AI's racecraft is so questionable sometimes. Hamilton through. I've got no grip. That was the lap to pit. We're going to get the call now any second. Might get a chance to get Lewis back here though. This might be my only chance. This is going to be a huge commitment. Up inside. Oh my god, that was a huge lunge. Kept it on the track though. Basically done what Lewis done at turn 1, running in very, very wide. We have to hold on, this is the lap. This ain't going to be easy. We're going to be under constant pressure here. And I've got no grip compared to these guys on fresher inters, but we just have to make our car as wide as possible as Hamilton and Perez now will battle. I don't know if Lewis lost an end plate, but that will just take the pressure off and diffuse the situation enough. Oh, I don't know what to do now. Oh, been slammed in the rear. Hamilton's lost his wing. I don't know whether to pit for wets or not. No, I'm staying out. I've changed my mind. At the last second, I'm going to try and keep track position. Hamilton damage, he pits. Sainz now up to second. Not sure if Checo's got damage. But we're going to try and hold track position here. Track has improved a little bit. Able to just get back under control and just be quick enough that I can keep Carlos behind. It's this corner here though, the struggle. I can't get any traction down compared to the AI. Sainz goes through, gets the run. I'll try and fight.
Okay, I think we're still the right tyres for the time being.
I'm struggling so much. I'm working so hard to try and hold on here. I want this result now. Still so many laps to go yet.
There's a new strategy available on the MFD. Copy that.
I think I'm going to go for it.
Forecast suggests the rain's going to be lightening up over the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. You should start finding more grip as we clear the standing water. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
Yeah, we're going to go for that. I'm going to box the wets. 10-15 minutes is long enough that we might get to the end on the wets, so we're going to play it safe.
Understood. Stopping this lap.
Probably could have pit a couple laps ago, to be fair, when I originally felt it was the right time to pit, but now the team confirm it. This is it. This has to be perfect. This cannot go wrong. This has to be a perfect pit sequence. Sainz stays out. So does Perez and Alonso. This is scary times. I don't know what to think. I maybe should have pit a couple laps ago. I might be throwing the win away. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Ideally, we need them to pit. Or the full wets are that much faster. We're going to be out the points here behind Hamilton.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Right, say a prayer, folks. We'll see what happens. These tyres aren't exactly setting the world alight. No one's pitting. We may have thrown the win away here. It'll be heavy rain to the end.
And that's just 5 laps of fuel remaining.
I'm much faster than what I was. Make no mistake, but I'm only kind of level now with the AI's pace. We may have thrown the win away, but we're not going to give up. No one's pitting, so we've got this wrong, I think. Even though one pits. I mean, it's pouring down. It's absolutely lashing it down, but the inters are still working, so I couldn't make them work. I was struggling massively, so anyway, let's focus on what we've got ahead of us, and that's P9. A couple of Mercs and Sonoda. Sonoda's the one that we have to pass. Oh, hang on. Hold the phone. That's the grip difference right there. The full wet paying off. Let's see if we can try and get Russell quickly. Schumacher's just up the road. I'd love to get him as well. I feel like it's really chucking it down now though. Can we get George? No, not quite. Never mind. We absolutely can. Surprised myself there how good the braking was. Perfect through there. Over the curbs. Can we just nail this final corner and get a run down to 1? I'm so poor through here. We've got quite a bit of grip now compared to before. There we go. Lovely move. Right. Let's get Schumacher. And get that P8. Here we go then. Let's see if we can dispatch Schumacher and make a late push after Verstappen. We'll have 3 laps to get after him. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but we have such a grip difference right now. We're so much faster. I could have gone for the move there, but choosing to wait as Verstappen passes Ocon, who pits. Interesting. Only Ocon pitting, so possibly damage related. Schumacher drifting. It's really coming down now. The rain is serious. Ocon comes in for a full wet. That's a late call. We get past Schumacher. Let's see. Can we make these conditions count? Maybe we made the right call after all. We're going to need a miracle though. Hold the phone here. I'm giving it everything. Verstappen's on the back of that lead group. And the gap is coming down at a rate of knots here. The AI is staying out. Only Ocon chose to pit out of them last lap. And no one's following. Gap is down to 7.6. If the rain stays like this, we might have a chance. Here we go. Last lap of the race. I don't know if we'll win. There's too many cars to pass. But you know what? I'm not going to say anything. Just leave me to it. I probably won't leave any cuts in this lap. We'll just leave it to play out. I'm going to focus. Wow. That was a bit too close for comfort.
Less than one lap of fuel left now. The tank's pretty much empty.
Can we nick a podium? One more lap and we would have won this whole damn thing. Just going to miss out on the podium, I think. Oh, damn. Still, what a performance.
Race over, take care of the car on the way in.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Rain always has the potential to liven up a race and mix up the order, and they've taken full advantage of that to claim the victory today. It's a bit of a lottery when the conditions are like this, but they've managed to stay on the circuit and have come out on top.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Boy, that race was special. I think if I'd won that, that would have been the greatest career mode race I've ever had in my life. And I think ever. What a race. What a strategy. I think, in hindsight, if I'd gone for the wet when I first felt like it was the right time to go, which was around about when Hamilton crashed into me and got damaged about 2 laps before, I reckon I could have actually won that. I wasn't as efficient on the last lap as I could have been. So small margins, fine margins. But yeah, either way, guys, What a performance. Sainz wins, Alonso second, so it's a 1-2 for Spain, but who cares? What a result. That is a huge P4 for the championship, especially because we beat Albon on the last lap, who put in a great shift. Norris P6, Verstappen fastest lap, Schumacher, Tsunoda in the points as well. So yeah, all of our rivals in the top 10, so it was imperative that we got ahead of them somehow, and that's exactly what we achieved. Outside the points, Ocon, Russell, Magnussen, Gasly, Zhou, Bottas, Latifi, Stroll, and then Leclerc and Ricciardo DNFing. But let's look at the standings. Up to 11th, or we're staying 11th more like, but we actually pull away 16 points clear of Magnussen and 15 behind Ricciardo, so we're likely to finish, I think, in 11th now this season, if we're being real. Tsunoda overtakes Gasly, Sainz back out front. In the Constructors, though, we overtake AlphaTauri, and that is what I'm talking about. That was the result I was waiting for. We're now 5 points ahead with, I believe, 5 or 6 races to go. So let's try and hold on to the 6th place, which could be massive for us, especially with the regulation change next season. That could be a huge result. Anyway, guys, like, subscribe. I think that race deserves it. What a performance. My hands are literally shaking. Hopefully you enjoyed it. As always, a big shout out to the members for supporting the channel. Check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Until then, take care, and let's go back from here.